Hello there, welcome back to another video. So today I want to build a dropper. So you might be wondering why I'm on the map that we've seen so many a time before, and that's because I had an idea recently. I saw a brilliant message from one of my Discord members that I should build a dropper map in Minecraft, which was a great idea, and I'm really excited to do it. And I'm, as I said at the beginning, that's what we're going to be doing today. But as I went to build it, I was like, what world should I build it on? Should I build it on my testing world, my YouTube world? And then I just thought, why not build it on the same world as my escape room I did the other day? And then when I do projects similar to this, like mini games and things, I can build it all on this world and then release them one by one until I've got like a full map where you can play tons of different mini games, which would be pretty cool. It's like a mini game map. I'm zooming in very slowly. That was an accident, but I'm going to stick with it. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the video. Also, wait, before I do that, actually, like, subscribe, join the Discord, do all the fun stuff. Discord's in the comments, by the way. Nearly YouTube, like, full partner, like 4,000 watch hours. So, like, if you watch the video all the way through, massive help to me, massive help to you guys who watch me, because then I get to grow bigger and do bigger projects. Just trust me, bro. It'll work out. How can I have dropped off? I'm not even relevant yet. So, the first thing I needed to do was get the shape right, and I think I have got a pretty good shape for this thing, especially since it takes quite a while for me to go up here. It's around 300 blocks wide. I didn't do this by hand, by the way. This was World Edit, but I did need to get it right. I think when you're at the top, there's a lot that you can fall down into. So if I just do this, there's quite a couple seconds where you can dodge things, where things are in the way, and then you can get to the bottom. So it's not the world's biggest dropper, but I think it's an average size. And here's the idea that I have for it. Let me go through that now with you. I'm thinking that we do space, then we go skies, and then we go earth. So it's like you drop from all the way in out of space, all the way down, and there could be like a little country house down here that you have to fall into like a puddle by. And I think that could be really cool, and we just have to make the path first that you're supposed to fall down, I guess. Or multiple paths, because they usually have them, don't they? Multiple paths in these dropper maps. I've had some ideas and I've been doing some silly things whilst you're away. Not really silly, they were interesting things. Now, you may be wondering what's going on here, and I think I might have mentioned it in the previous clip, but my idea for this is that you're dropping from the sky all the way down to the earth, and the first thing I needed to do for the sky area was the cloud section, and I think this looks really nice. I think on the ground I kind of want it to look like it's about to rain. So you've got that really cool texture there, and it helps blend it all together. But from above, it looks like you're above the clouds. It's a lot brighter, which I think is actually how clouds formulate because of how rain appears. So I might have to do some interesting stuff with that too. Right, so the path that you have to take with this, by the way, all the yellow ones, they're not going to stay yellow and red and things. That's probably obvious, but these are going to be like meteorites floating through space, and this is going to be black with stars on. But for right now, I'm just testing everything out. Right now, this is the path that you have to go down. See if I make it this time. Yes, I did. It's a very, very tight squeeze, but you get in through, which is really cool. This little hole in the clouds here, which I think looks really nice, and I think it works pretty well. I'm going to make it more difficult, add some more swerves and things, but right now all those yellow dots is where the items need to be to make it difficult. Then I'll add lots of mysterious things in. I think there will be a level where it switches from meteors to clouds, and I think I'll do that in a slower transition. And then when you get down here, maybe I'll do like some trees or something. I'm not quite sure yet, but I want there to be a little house down here that you fall into a pond of. You don't have a lot of room to move, so maybe there won't be a heck of a lot down here, but it could be an interesting way of doing it. I really love this. I'm actually really proud of this down section. It took me a really long time when I could have been doing something else, but there was not really any other way I could do trick or work with the glasswork unless I just actually did it. So I'm glad this turned out as well as it did. What I've got to do now is I've got to finish up the different like sections of where everything's supposed to go. So I'm going to get on to doing that now. Originally I was going to have some sort of like strategy and plan for making this, but really I didn't have one here. It kind of just I've just been doing things as I like them, which is actually a nice and fun way to do it. It's a little different to how I usually do things, but it still works. It's still working really well so far. So let me see if I can make this jump. I don't make it 100% of the time, so I might fail if I don't get it perfectly right. So if I just snag through there like that, boom, that's how you do the jump. Now it's obviously a lot bigger than, well, it's a big room, I'm not gonna lie. We've got a lot going on here. It's very interesting. I'm really proud of this, actually. I mean, this meteor section was pretty easy to do. A lot of it was copy and pasting. There's no similarities. I don't know what you mean. you know, these are two different rocks. Anyways, but the bit that I'm actually really proud of are these clouds, man. These two sections of clouds just look so good. And I know that clouds sort of layer like this in real life. Obviously, it's not 100% correct. And maybe I can put some like grey glass underneath if I wanted to improve that view. I don't know. It will look better in the future. I'll figure something out. But it's just that view from above looks so good, especially since that's the view that you really care about, I guess, in dropper maps. And like just layering the clouds like this makes them look so nice. So I'm glad this has worked out really well. And you know, and I think clouds sort of layer like this in real life, how they're like thick like sheets rather than just all on top of each other. I can't remember exactly how that works, but it was an interesting thing I heard a while back, and I'm trying to go off memory. So if I'm wrong, tell me in the comments how clouds actually kind of layer. But I think it's something like that. I hope. So wow, this is really cool so far. I'm really loving this. Next thing we're gonna have to work on is texturing this area so it starts to look like how I want it to. And I've got a couple ideas for that too. Goodbye, red and yellow. Welcome back. Why, hello there. Welcome back. Why aren't my mods what? My keybinds have been reset. What's happening here? Hello there, welcome back. My keybinds were reset. I don't know why. That was really frustrating. Anyways, I want to show you what I've done now. This is we made some brilliant progress this morning. I've just hopped on. I've done some basic. I need to raise my cloud level again because I've made it a little bit taller. And it's because originally you were going to be jumping off this angle, and it was kind of designed. Then I realized that, not this angle, or one of the angles. Ignore me, please, ignore me. Yeah, this angle here, you're originally going to be jumping off, but then I realized that even if you do jump off this angle, yeah, there's not really much of a point. There's, you know, just jump off the middle area like most droppers. And I actually forgot that's how you drop through most droppers until I was thinking about when I played Dropper on Hypixel a while back, and I was like, oh wait, we jumped through the middle area. So here we go. We can jump through the middle area now. You can dodge some of the obstacles, get through there. Didn't quite make it that time. But you see where you die now. You see how this sort of thing works, and you can also see around the edges. I haven't textured this yet. This is just like, you know, flat. So I do want to do some stars on the darker area here. And I want to do a bit of a gradient here between the light blue and the black. So it's not just that instant turn. And I have to figure out how to do that on a large scale. Maybe I'll just do it layer by layer. Make it pretty easy on myself. But yeah, as you can see, this is turning out pretty well so far. I really like the design of this. I just need, the clouds will look a lot better, frankly. They look a lot better when they're inside of a blue dome and instead of a red one. Less Stranger Things, more quaint home. And I want to do down here. I've done a little more like little grey tints down here. They just make it look a little bit more like a storm cloud. And I was thinking what I'd do on this final room is maybe I'll make this inside area even darker. And I'll add rain pouring down on a little house down here, which look really nice. And you have to dodge the rain droplet, so pretty difficult, but let's see how that turns out, eh? You guys like candles? Because I really do, and I've been working with them today. It's I have to try and not overdo it because you still have to fall through this area. But making it rain using candles is such a cool idea, man. It looks so sick here. I love the way they just look as they like drop down. And I couldn't imagine doing that in survival. That would be an absolute nightmare. But it looks very nice here. Maybe I'll add some more along the top. Who knows? Who knows? But the whole thing is coming together pretty nicely. I might need to find a different way to do all these lights. They just don't look that great. I'm going to have to remove them at some point probably. So I'll figure that out later. But what have I done? Let me show you. Let me drop through. See if I can. Nope, I'm not even. I've already failed. let me turn it back down to normal. Let me try it one more time. Hello. Let's see where we go this time. So I have to drop through here. Make this point here. I would have died, but you can see how it's possible. It's a very difficult map, especially since I'm using full bright and I'm using a shader to make everything brighter, so everything kind of blends together for me. It makes YouTube fun to watch, but it makes my life terrible. So thanks for that, guys. Anyways, this is what it looks like now. I want to do what I'm going to be doing tomorrow and what I'm going to be doing next. I'm going to be building like a house and like a terrain down here, something simple, something quaint, but it should work pretty well with the stormy atmosphere, and I'll probably work a little more on this. But as you can see, there's other stuff that I've done too. I've detailed this environment, made this area look very, very lovely, and yeah, everything's working, coming together very quickly. I'm gonna think the last thing I'm gonna do today is I'm trying to fix all these lights. Now, I did want to mention this, and I was about to mention it, but if you feel like coming around the Discord, that'd be great. I think I mentioned it in the beginning of this video, as people suggest videos, and I really like doing your suggestions for videos because they're often really good, and I really love doing them. But I did get a lot of comments recently asking about my builds, and they were around the same vein of why isn't it just like the build, and why does it always have something to do with something else? So like with this one, although it is like trying to do like an art piece, the like main subject is that it is a dropper. And there are two reasons I'm doing this. It isn't just one, and it's because, how do I say this? On YouTube, if I just do a build, it probably won't get that many views. And that's the truth. That's like the honest truth. If I just make a build and it doesn't have anything that you can do with it, most people don't really want to click on that. And I do like doing, and that is one reason. That is one reason that I do it. But honestly, the main reason is because I don't really like building things without substance. I did it for like a year, like nearly a build at least once a week, maybe more, like 2 or 3 a week, and I used to upload tons of shorts. This was before I was doing bigger videos like this one. So, and I just got a bit fed up of that. I wanted to build stuff that had substance, so I went into adventure maps, I went into all sorts of things, and I went into doing it in SMP. So I kind of want to be able to play the maps and do things with what I create, or have a reason to create them. So that's the sort of reason why I do things like that. And that's just like, I guess, a wider range and easier way for me to answer those people who are asking those questions, which is completely fine, by the way. If you have any questions like that, I'll be happy to answer them. And if I can't answer them in a comment, maybe I'll answer them in a video like this. Who knows? But yeah, that's about all I've got to say for now. So without I've said further ado a lot today. So without banana toast, there we go, that works. It doesn't make any sense, but it works. Let's get into the next clip. I like the phrase banana toast, and I'm going to use it more, and you can't stop me. Well guys, I've got a lot to show you, a lot that I've worked on whilst you were away. And I know I'm showing you a black background right now because I've done the stars now, and instead of doing the fog lights that I was going to do before, the ochre fog lights, what I've done instead is I have used snow blocks, the whitest block in the game, if you didn't know. I think it is, at least. I don't know if the pale oak is, I'd have to compare them, but I think it's still snow. And I've done a little more work down here, and I think these look really nice. They aren't perfect, but honestly, it's about as good as I'm going to get because my brain is not thinking of anything else. Maybe I could use candles, but I would have to do that by hand, and that might take a couple hours, and it's just not worth it. Just placing one candle in at a time. Now, the next thing I want to show you is this interesting. I saw they were like kind of teetering on the edge of entering the world. So I was like, why not just make them like meteors? So I added some flames on it. It looks like they're falling down. I think that looks really cool. You're going to see it for like a split second as you're falling, but I think that works really well as another obstacle that you have to dodge. And as we come down here, I haven't made any changes to the clouds. I really like these. I think they're basically perfect. Now, this is the area I do want to show you. Down here, I have been doing a bit of terraforming this morning and making this area work really well together. And I think it looks very lovely, especially these little rock formations up here. I think the shape of this area is just really nice compared to what I could have done before, what I have done before. I think this looks really nice, especially on the when you're on the ground, because although sometimes I do design things for that overhead view, especially you can see it here with this path, how I've designed it to be more jagged. When you walk down it isn't so fun, I'm going to be honest, but when you let me just break that. I'm going to bring that back a little bit. But when on the top of it just has like a really cool shape, so I really like that design. You can still walk down it so it isn't too terrible, and honestly, I do really love everything that's come together. It has come together really nicely, hasn't it? What I want to show you next is this little cottage down here. It looks very lovely, I'm not going to lie. I really like this. I used a texture that I made a couple months, maybe a month back or two, and on the exterior of it, and I really like that design. I really like the roof. I really like this fog, the wind, like it's being pushed to the left, although it doesn't make too much sense because the rain's all falling down straight down. There's no wind current here, so maybe I should just have it going upwards to like show that the wind isn't really a factor in this area, because that doesn't make much sense. So yeah, I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna make it so it's like, I guess like that, maybe. I don't know. I'll figure something out. I don't mind it too much, so maybe if I just add in some uh Yeah, like that. I don't know. I'll figure out. I'll figure out. I think actually that doesn't look too bad. Maybe I'll keep it like that. But yeah, this looks really lovely. I love everything that's how this has all came together. I have never made a dropper before. This was my first time making a dropper, and I think it turned out good. I think it turned out spectacular. I think we really made something atmospheric today. And if you look at it from the outside, it looks pretty cool too. It's got like this weird gradient effect. Call it what you want to call it, but it looks cool. I really love this thing. It is my infant child, and I protect it at all costs. I don't know too much about the grey, this gradient here. I mean, I looked at real clouds, and this is, real rainy weather, and it's usually bluer towards the top, then it goes down to this dark grey, and that's how rain sort of works. And I do like how it came together, but it's just maybe there's a different variant of it, but I can't think of anything right now. There's probably still some things that I could add in here, I'm not gonna lie, but for now it looks very, very nice, and maybe I'll do some of that off camera. Now we are basically done, so I'm going to try and complete this dropper now. I'm going to see how many tries this takes me. Hopefully not too many. So here we go. Dropping down, and then we slip through that. We go through it. We drop in, and we go through that. And wait, no way. No way did I do that first try. No way. Okay, that is insane because I've been practicing off camera and I haven't been able to make it once. I actually made it first try. That was sick. Well, I guess that's everything for today then. Wow. So, okay. Yeah, if you want to have a download for this map, just pester me and I'll get it on Planet Minecraft. I want to do some extra stuff so you can so you can choose between the two maps that are on this world right now. But thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you in another video. And join my Discord because we have lots of fun things going on in there. Yeah, I keep on pestering you guys to join my Discord because it's really fun. Also, please like and subscribe. I need the watch hours. I need the watch hours. I need the interactions with the videos so we can spread further. So more fun people can come along and say hi when you join in the fun, you know. Hey, da da da. Anyway, you know the rest of the outro, so I'm gonna say it right now to be annoying. I mean, I'm gonna say goodbye, which I usually say in the Markiplier way. Yes, I stole this from Markiplier. Bye bye.